What is up, YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be revealing my new brand that I've been working on behind the scenes on for a few months now, and I'm going to be explaining why it's not quite going as I expected. Now, I know a lot of online gurus never reveal what they actually sell, so I want to clear that up right up front off the bat as to why I'm making this video. So I create this kind of content with two main goals in mind. One, for people who are interested in learning how to start their own private label Amazon brand, to get them to book a call with me because I do offer coaching services. Or two, if they just don't have the financial means or don't have enough knowledge, just to simply educate people on the process. I don't really sell courses anymore. This is partly because I am so passionate about it, because it's interesting and exciting to me, and yes, because sometimes I do make money from it. So with that being said, here is my new product, okay? It might look backwards on the camera, actually, I'm not sure, but these are bamboo-like plates, and you can see my branding here. The brand name is Shy Leaf, and inside of this packaging, right, this private label packaging, I have the actual product itself, which are, bamboo plates, forks, and knives. And so I am launching a brand here, starting with 5 SKUs. I ordered actually 2,500 units total, about 500 each. And right now, the product is about to hit the Amazon warehouse, which is very exciting. Now, as I said in the title in the beginning, there are some hiccups that have been happening. There have been delays, issues with productions. Amazon has not allowed me to send as much inventory as I wanted, and I just finally got approved to send 1,000 units in, so I'll send 200 of this SKU and 200 of 4 other SKUs that I have of all different sizes and quantities of, the similar product. So what I wanted to do now is jump into my computer where I have a quick PowerPoint presentation kind of running down like how I found this product, how I found a manufacturer, what I said to them, how I got branding done, and a lot of other little details. So for those of you who don't know, I've been selling on Amazon already for 5 years. I've launched 22 products from my old brand. You can see there, Royal Elements, like an arts and crafts brand. 20 out of those 22 products have been successful. 2 of them I made rush decisions and try to compete with massive brands. And the products that I was trying to compete with, it wasn't realistic. But I'm not brand new to this, and so I am taking a bit of a bigger risk, launching 5 products at once. It's a bit of a higher investment, but I'm the kind of person to go all in or nothing at all, and that's the type of person I want to attract. Like, not just people who want to casually, like, oh, what is this? That's interesting. Let's go look at, the newest shiny object. Let's look at crypto. Let's look at this, that. And so that being said, how this brand came to be. So initially, you can see that image on the left-hand side. I literally took crayon to a piece of paper and sketched out packaging of what I wanted the product to look like. And then I hired someone to produce, the logo and the packaging itself. It doesn't have to be some crazy process. It took me a couple of days of brainstorming to come up with an idea. Like, obviously this product is natural. It's made out of palm leaves, actually. So I wanted the niche, the logo, the branding to be similar to that. And so, yeah, that's what I settled on. I think it looks great, and hopefully it will perform well. But initially, I actually wanted the brand name to be called Naked Leaf, but then I did some trademark research and found that there were some live trademarks on that brand name, Naked Leaf, even though some of them were in completely different industries, like cigar products or whatever. I just didn't want to deal with that, so I changed the name to Shy Leaf. It also looks good, and yeah, that's what I settled on. So you might be asking, like, how did I find this niche? I used AMZ Scout product database. So the biggest issue that most new sellers have, that e-commerce newbies have, is like, they don't know what to sell. They don't know how to find a good product to sell. They don't know how to do research, do any sort of analytics. And so it took me a little bit of time to find this product. When I found my first product way back 5 years ago, it took me 2 months of research. I think this one took me about a week of looking around. And so I found a good opportunity with, not a lot of private label branding going on here, good sales numbers, low competition in terms of like Amazon reviews, because initially I want to just launch this product on Amazon. And so, yeah, I did a lot of numbers crunching, did a lot of research. I was very happy that this product is a consumable. So like people use these disposable plates and need to buy more. Using a bit of common sense and just a bit of, researching some of the numbers, this came out as a good find for me. So, with my coaching students, I have a blueprint, a master blueprint. And I basically followed this exact blueprint to a T. I started with product research, did a lot of numbers, looked through a lot of products and things of that nature. So how did I find a supplier is probably one of the next big questions that you would be asking. And I used Alibaba.com, which is kind of like Google for finding manufacturers. I also used IndiaMart this time. Found interesting suppliers for both of them. You can see some like just trying to get a rough idea of the cost, how much shipping would be, if they could get custom packaging, all that stuff. And so a copy and paste template, and that's what I used here. And I reached out to 20 Chinese factories, 20 Indian factories, and sent them a copy and paste template of like 10 or so questions asking about cost per unit. Could they custom package? Can you put a barcode on? Can you ship to the Amazon warehouse? All of these things I want to know up front before I ever, move forward with, say, ordering samples or anything like that. So I mentioned it briefly, but how did I get branding and packaging? My go-to online marketplace for finding freelancers is Fiverr.com. And you can see there the logo cost me $70. It's kind of hard to tell, but you see that little orange logo kind of in the center right. I basically ripped off that guy's idea. It says Naked Toaster, and I wanted my brand name to be Naked Leaf, right? And it was a similar looking idea. And so, some of it is creativity. I forget who said it. It might have been Picasso that said, good artists borrow, great artists steal. And so basically I just stole that idea. But here's the evolution of the packaging. Initially, it was going to be like a really cool jungle theme there. But then I took it to the manufacturer and they're like, hey, we can't print this many, colors and this kind of level of detail. We need to do something simpler. And so, we made edits, we changed it up, and I like how it looks on the right-hand side. That's not the final version, but we ended up simplifying it a bit, and it looks clean and professional, right? And so, yeah, the packaging cost me $40, and I just sent them a kind of idea or literally that crayon sketch, and I was like, hey, can you make something like this? And they did a pretty good job. So I also tested samples of the product. So I had to, talk to my main couple of suppliers, and I settled on one or two. I ordered one sample from a Chinese factory, one from an Indian factory. I gave them to my friends and family. I used the plates myself, like putting them through the microwave, chopping on them, all of that, and stress testing them, okay? As you could maybe see on the packaging there, 60 plates, 60 forks, and 60 knives. Also some cool packaging as well, which helps. So payment terms, here's a list of everything. I had to unfortunately remove how much it cost me. Oh, well, you can still kind of see some of that there, but this was not a cheap order. And I placed 30% down with the manufacturer after I tested their samples, like as a deposit to start producing this product, right? And then while that was going on, I had a lot of things I could get done. I could create the product listing, I could get brand approval, I could get images, a few other things. And so while that was going on, all that was happening. Creating the listing and brand approval was the most difficult, even though it really wasn't that bad. Just getting approval from Amazon to, create a new brand and launch your products. And so brand approval, they want you to show like images of the logo permanently attached to the product or packaging. And so we tried on the left-hand side, literally like printing out the mock packaging and taping it over a cardboard box. That didn't look very good, and obviously they didn't approve it. And then what we ended up doing, because I wanted to kind of rush this process, was literally getting our brand logo engraved on a product, which was, we're not even going to sell these pens, these wooden pens, but that actually got brand approval. So if I sent them this image, which I did recently for brand registry, to register my brand on Amazon, like they would have immediately accepted me, but I just didn't have like all the product on hand quite yet. And so, there's 2,500 boxes in this Indian factory that are all getting packed up. And so, while then there is other things I was doing. So There was also an issue of like, I wanted every box to have 60 forks and 60 knives, and the manufacturer got confused. They thought I wanted 30 forks and 30 knives for some reason. And so we had to wait a little bit extra to get those in. It wasn't a big deal, but it did cost me a little bit more money, I believe. But at the end of the day, I want the product to be done right because I care about the quality. I don't just want to pass customers on a cheap piece of crap that has defaults. And I want it to be done. Not really perfectionist, but I want it to be done right and not be misleading. So with on Amazon, there's a cool tool you can use, brand registry, to enroll your brand. So what you need is a trademark number, images that clearly show the branding of the product, and the sample list of the products that you're going to use. And so I provided all of that and got that done, which was pretty cool. I applied for a trademark, which is required to get registered on Amazon as, with brand registry. And what that was going to allow me to do is to use all of these amazing extra tools. You can see, so like I can post on Amazon Posts, I can go live, I can do, A+ content, all these other things. Like I can see sponsored brands and analytics. It just helps me have more tools to sell more of my products. So in the meantime, actually right now as I'm recording this, I'm shipping, this product was shipped in a 40-foot shipping container because there's so much. I think it was like, I really don't remember. It might have been like 43 cubic feet of inventory, or it might have been 43 cubic meters. So a lot, a 40-foot shipping container is fairly large, and it's going to a third-party warehouse, a 3PL third-party logistics warehouse in New Jersey, right before I launch it on Amazon. So while I was doing that, I was able to work out a deal with a manufacturer to get a couple of my units shipped directly to my house so that I could get photography done while the rest of the bulk shipment is coming over via sea directly to, the warehouse. And so found this lady on Fiverr who does like food photography, and she charged $175 for 10 images. And I got a lot of lifestyle photos and some plain white background. And so here are some of the images she took. She literally cooked. Because she is a food photographer, I picked her specifically. She took a bunch of images with food that she cooked, and it turned out really good. And so after we got some of these images, I got the photos edited in-house by a graphic designer I work with, which is pretty cool. So, the plain raw images, we put text over it, we showed sample sizes and, what the product's made of and things like that. And so before I ever even launched the product, I'm already basically 100% ready to go. All we need is the product to be in the warehouse before, launch day, which is very exciting. So the next step right here is to launch my actual product, which is really cool. Right? In the next 30 days or so, I should be able to see some results and finally, launch this brand after months and months of hard work.